Very nice. Welcome to our Amud Yom Shir. We are in Shabbos, Daf Samech Aleph Amud Beis, and we are learning about Kame'os on Shabbos. The question is as follows. As the Mishnah said, if a person wears a Kame'a is like what we call in English amulet, right? One of these names. It's basically psukim written, for as a skula for the health of people. If somebody's sick, they can have a Kame'a wearing on their neck, let's say, or in their hand. They wear it and they walk with it, and that saves them. So today it's very controversial if we have Kame'as. Most people say no, some would say yes. I'm not going there. But in the times of the Gemara, it was a well-known mamish medication. It's treated as medication. It's not called a rabbi. The one who's writing the Kame'os is a roife. He's a doctor, and he knows which pasuk. Yeah, that's what's called. He's a doctor, knows which pasuk exactly, with maybe other factors which I don't know, helps for each and every disease. It depends on the doctor and the disease on the person. We're going to see all the variables. The concept is, if a person wears on Shabbos a Kame'a that is min hamumche or mumche, which means a Kame'a that was proven to be working. Yeah, I'll take the simplest case. Your name is Reuven and you have rheumatism. I chose Reish, Shin, Shin, if you noticed in the thing. Reuven had rheumatism 3 times and it was healed by Pasuk X, by Pasuk Ani Hashem Rofecha. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, right? It's Chazaka. Now, on Shabbos, he's allowed to wear it. Again, he has rheumatism. I mean, it comes and goes. Yeah, he heals, but every 5 years it comes back again. So then again, the 4th time, since this Kame'a is mumche, meaning was proven to be working, to be effective, thank you, and functional, therefore he may wear it on Shabbos because it's mamish helping his health. Not only something that makes you beautiful or tsanua or interesting is a lavush. Lavush can be for health also. We're going to discuss at the end of the Omud, there is a difference between this kind of lavush and the other. It's a tachshit because you need it for your health, right? Sometimes you would even die without it. So therefore, if the Kame'a is not mumche, the Kame'a was not yet proven, wasn't yet tried and tested, not yet approved by the what? FDA, right? Americans, I know a little bit. Yeah, so not yet approved with the FDA. So then, so to speak, it wasn't yet mumche, you only worked twice. I don't know if it's going to work again. Then you can't wear it on Shabbos. It's not proven enough to be mamish levush. Then you can't wear it. I'm not going now into whether you're not yichav chatas. It sounds like you don't. That's another shayla. That's not for now. But definitely you can't wear it on Shabbos. It's not clearly a tachshit for you. You're participating in an experiment here. You don't yet know that it works. That's a general concept. We also said before, that's, again, I'm summarizing what was Shabbos' daf, and that is what happens if there's a doctor. Yeah, and this is actually the first chart. Itmechi Gavra. This is something which Gemara said before. In the first chart, you have a doctor, Pshia, Ken, and Hora, Roife Aleph. Doctor number 1, thank you, Reb David. Yeah, he healed Reuven from rheumatism with one kind of Kame'a. Shimon from cough, Shiul with the second Kame'a. And the same doctor got Levi out of laryngitis. Wow. So this doctor, Ken and Hora, he's a magician. He does it all. His doctor does it all. Any Kame'a, 3 times already. Any Kame'a worked for any kind of disease. By the way, Rashi believes when it says Gavra all the time, it's not dafka Gavra, it's a kind of disease. That's Rashi. The other Rishonim, it's just an example of another disease. Reuven always has rheumatism, and Levi always has laryngitis, and Shimon has shvigiritis. Shviga comes to visit all the time. Whatever. Bekitzer, now, what about Yehuda? Yehuda gets a abelis. Yehuda has a wart, yeah? So then, of course, the Roife can give him a Kame'a, even though the Kame'a was never tried. Yeah, on Yehuda has Yabelis, wart, whatever, he has something else. Of course, he can go with it. Why? It's not such an of course. It's a Chiddush, even though the Kame'a is a new Kame'a. Wow, something new in the market. Wow. But it comes from an amazing doctor, right? He runs Teva. He's the best, of the Rabbonim. Yeah, he's the one who had 3 good Kame'as, effective Kame'as. No question, he's good. Even though, I'm continuing in the first chart, even though the same Kame'a was only tried once on each person, right? So the doctor, he helped once Reuven with one thing, another time Shimon, another time Levi, each one a different thing. So he basically has a sample, he has his finger in every pie, so even a new Kame'a for a new person in a new disease will probably also work. Rashi compares it to Shor Nogach, Bava Kama. We all learned Bava Kama at some point in our lives. right? If a shore gores chamor, shor, gamal, three types of animals, you would also gore a kangaroo. he doesn't discriminate. Same thing over here. Mashenkin, the same Kame'a written by a different doctor, maybe another doctor, that specific Kame'a for rheumatism, and that Kame'a with Aniyah Shem Rafecha worked for him only once. So that Kame'a written by another doctor would not necessarily work. The spiritual powers of another guy, no, we don't know that. We don't know if that kind of text necessarily works. Maybe only when it comes from the Roife, from the Mumche, the first doctor. The second doctor, we don't yet know, because that command never didn't yet work three times. That's example number one, and this is already stuff that was mentioned yesterday and will be mentioned today. Now, the second case, I'm just going now to the second part of the chart, okay? Itmechi Kame'a, Kol Sharipa Vashina. What does that mean? Look at the second chart, yeah? The same person, the same choile with the same disease, right? And three different doctors writing him the same Kame'a. Now, the doctors, they only wrote once. They're not big mumchim. Dr. A, Dr. B, and Dr. C, yeah, one from Maccabi, Meuchedet, Klalit, they each wrote the same Kame'a. The Kame'a is amazing. So fourth doctor will write the same Kame'a to Yuda for the same disease. Of course it's going to work. It's been tried through different sources. That Kame'a, wow. Here, it's not the doctor, it's the medication that works. So therefore, if Yuda wants to go on Shabbos for the first time in his life, yeah, for the same disease that other three friends went with the same Kame'a, of course it's going to work. However, let's look at doctor number one. The first doctor now wants to heal a different person with a different disease. He wants to take Aaron out of asthma. No, how do you know? Because mitzad the doctors, each one only tried once. So the chazaka is not in the doctors, the chazaka is in the medications. Therefore, the doctors are not mumche. So Aaron cannot go now with a medication written prescribed by the first doctor. It's other doctors, they're playing it safe. They're staying in the safe medication. Medication would for sure work for other people. And the doctor would not necessarily work with a different kind of command. Okay? Oh, these are the basics. These are the basics. There's much more, but these are the basics. With that in mind, let's start the Gemara. Now let's start learning the Gemara. So we summarized already quite a lot from the background we have to know. Let's go. Omar of Pope, yeah, fourth, fifth line from the top of the page. Shitali, yeah, what's clear to me, says Rav Popo, Shitali, tlas kmei letlas gavri, yeah, three kmeos, letlas gavri, tlasa zimni. That we haven't seen yet. That's a third chart. Itmechi gavra ve'itmechi kamea. Let's look at the chart. This is the super duper. Wow, that's a combo. That's the superstar. Yeah, both Kami and doctors are mumchim. The first doctor wrote a Kame'a for Reuven three times, right? And he worked all the time. The same doctor wrote, yeah, another Kame'a to Shimon three times, right? And the doctor wrote the third Kame'a to Levi three times. Okay. So now what do we know? The doctor himself, yeah, of course, if Yehuda, the bottom line, would also need a Kame'a, that doctor, he is a super duper doctor, right? That doctor, Pshia, Kenan Hora, he did Reuben, Shimon, and Levi, each one three times. Pshia, consultation with him, 3,000 shekels, half an hour. You know these guys in Hadassah? Sure. He, of course, the fourth Kame'a now tried Kilu, a new Kame'a with a new guy. Of course, it's going to work. He did three times. Three guys, three times each. Avada, from him, it's Itmechi Gavra. That doctor is already has chazaka of three. The chiddush is, look at the end over here, the set, but now comes another doctor, and he wants to write the same Kame'a. It's also going to work. In other words, the Kame'a that worked for Reuven three times, now that Kame'a has proven itself three times over. And here we don't connect it to the person. Since the same Kame'a didn't work only once, the Kame'a for Reuven, it took Reuven time and again from rheumatism three times. So now we assume that another doctor can also write it, because we see it's not only the doctor who is lucky or he's good with that one medication. We know that this also the medication itself worked three times for Reuven, and then now we also allege it to the medication, not only the doctor, because it worked three times already. So now we see the medication itself healed three times. It's going to heal also another time, even from a different doctor. All that is Mefurish and Rashi. That's like a mega thing. It's both the doctor that's mumcha for the fourth time, a different medication, or the same medication prescribed by another doctor. Also, you may argue that maybe it only works for Reuven. We don't say that now. Don't connect it now. Okay? In other words, Reuben was healed 3 times for rheumatism. So you know what? Let's play it safe. So Reuben clearly can be healed from another doctor the same indication, right? That's for sure. Reuben was healed 3 times, not only because it's Dr. A, he was healed Dr. A, but 3 times the medication. So now we are also connected to medication, not just the doctor. And we say, oh, now the second doctor can write the same thing, it's going to work. That's the assumption. That's what we say now. However, that's number 1. Continue, let's continue. So class Kame'a, class Gavri, class Zimni, 3 times each person, itmechi Gavra, itmechi Kame'a. Both the doctor is mumche and the medication. Second case, Tlasa Kmei, Letlasa Gavri, 3 different Kmeas to 3 different people. Chad Zimna. 3 Kmeas for each 3 people, each one once. That's the first case. Yeah, once Reuven was healed by one doctor, Dr. Cohen. Dr. Cohen, he healed Reuven rheumatism, Shimon stutitis, and Levi laryngitis, whatever. So then Gavra Itmechi, the doctor, wow, he's very good. He healed 3 people, yeah, but not 3 times. 1 each. You know, he's very good with Kmeis. He knows what he's doing. Yehuda can now be healed from ututitis, whatever now, because we know that this doctor, if it's written with Dr. Kohn, it's going to do the job. But Kame'a lo itmechi. But the Kame'a is not no. But the same Kame'a would not necessarily work for another person from a different doctor. Not from different. Why? Dr. Cohen is the one who managed to do boom, 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 1 each. So Dr. Cohen is great, but the same medication did not prove itself 3 times, only once. And therefore the medication maybe from another doctor would not work, as we explained. Chad Kame'a, second case. Chad Kame'a Litlasa Gavri. Oh, the same Kame'a for 3 people. Kame'a Yitmechi, Gavri lo Yitmechi. Chad Kame'a, there was 1 Kame'a written for 3 people. 1 Kame'a for 3 people could be also by 3 doctors. Kame'a Itmechi. The Kame'a is good because the Kame'a was written and worked again and again and again. Yeah, it's very good for rheumatism. The 4th case of rheumatism, never tried on that guy, it's going to work. The Kame'a Itmechi, even from a different doctor, because we know that Kame'a works for 3 different people. Reuven, Shimon, Levi, they were all healed by what? From that disease. It does make a difference. Rashi says 1 guy or 3 guys. That Kame'a works. But Gavra lo itmechi, the doctor is not a mumcha necessarily, because we don't know. It was, yeah, the Gavra, the doctor himself, as we see in this chart, yeah, is in this 1 second, here, the doctor here is not a mumcha because let's say there were 3 different doctors, each one only did once healed from rheumatism. That's the case of Aaron, the asthma guy here. I don't know if it's going to work. The first doctor is not so great necessarily. He gave the good medication. 1, 2, Dr. Korn, Dr. Levy, and Dr. Leibowitz, they all gave the good medication. But I don't know if Dr. Leibowitz with a different medication for a different guy would work. So the Kame'a is not mumcha. That's the second chart. Very good. What's the question? Now comes the question. Boy of Pope comes up with a question. What would be if there are 3 different medications, 3 different diseases to 1 guy, okay, by 1 doctor? There's 1 doctor who gave 3 different medications for 1 person. Kame'a vade lo itmechi. The Kame'a for sure is not mumche. The Kame'a was only tried once on that 1 patient, right? The Kame'a was, yeah, every time, each one was once. Yeah, Reuben once had bronchitis, then asthma, then CF, then I don't know what he had, yeah? So every time the medication was tried on Reuven once, of course the medication is not mumcha. The Kame'a is not mumcha. Kame'a was only once, not 3 times. Yeah, even 2 wouldn't be good enough. You need 3. Gavra, now what about the doctor? Oh, the doctor is a super duper guy, right? The doctor healed Reuven 3 times. So of course the doctor would also be good for who? For Shimon? That we don't know. Here we break, yeah, we're breaking in the pedal. Itmechi or lo itmechi? Is the doctor who healed 3 times 1 person from 3 different diseases, is this doctor mumche? And if you would now give a different Kame'a to Yehuda, to a different guy, not to Reuven, would Dr. Cohen be helpful for Yehuda also for a different disease? I'm not sure. Why? Because says Rav Papa, mi amrinan, would we say, ha'asile, he healed him. Look, He's an amazing doctor. Dr. Leibowitz did 3 different diseases. Wow. And every time it works. Yeah, once every time. But still, of course, Leibowitz would also be able to help Yehuda with his broken leg. Or Dilma, maybe not. Mazla de Haigava udika mekabel ksovo. No, no, no. Reuven is a good patient. Reuven is a good patient. Reuven has a malach, has good mazel from a malach. We saw the concept that a person has mazel, right? We saw at the beginning of Behema. A person has more mazel than a behema, and therefore a person like Reuven, he's mekabel the Kame'a, mass spiritual, and Reuven has ruach to accept that Kame'a. But so I don't know, it's a doctor. He found a good patient that really that responds well to the medication. But I don't know if Yehuda was a different guy. I'm not sure if he would respond well to another medication by Dr. Leibowitz. I don't know, Dr. Rabbi. That's a Shaila Teku. We remain with the Teku, we don't know. Okay, so in case you want to work on me on Shabbos, in this particular case, ask your rabbi first.
So what about this guy who steals 3 times? Can he get another career?
Yes. Very good. Shkoyach. Very nice, David. Yeah. Oh, Reuven has a 4th disease, Avade can take, because the doctor and the patient are doing great together. Mimanav Shachdev Chazaka of being a good team, the doctor and the patient, right? You say you have to find your doctor, right? So that works well. Mimanav Shach. Very nice. That's a very sheinen of Kame'a. There are questions of this Rashi, but I would leave it for now. Okay, Beseder, but we managed. And we can chazer it, we can look at the chart again. Iboilu. Now comes another question. Iboilu. By the way, I just want to point out before we continue, because it's going to appear soon. The Gemara said before, the Gemara will say later. Not all kameim are of are texts that are written, or psukim, or shemis kedoshim. Some kameis are herbs, vegetables, herbs, things like that. I just want to say a story here. We got so far such a difficult sugya. I'm very Litvish. I'm the most Litvish guy in the room, I think. Basically, but I know when my daughter, Baruch Hashem, she's gesund, she's healthy now, Baruch Hashem, but many years ago, my daughter had cancer. Baruch Hashem, she got out of it. She was healed by Chesed Hashem. And a lot of kids, she was 10, a lot of other kids in the machlaka, a lot of other kids in the cancer ward in Hadassah. A very big mixture of kids from Arab to Chiloni, Hasidish, all the different types of kids were there. And there was one Haredi girl who had a very, very rare kind of disease, of cancer, like you face like 5 in the entire world, kind of very, very rare. And she was wearing a Kame'a that I think they got from Rav Kaduri or something, or somebody big. She was wearing it all the time. Now, I don't know why this girl survived the whole time. She's a very, very rare thing. And the doctors were saying that it's really not so understandable why this girl is surviving, and she was actually doing pretty well. And she lived. And I know she had the Kame'a. Was it the Kame'a or not? I don't know. But she had the Kame'a and she survived. So that much I have to admit, I know the story. How you connect it? It's Mechiyalda, it's whatever, Emuna, but it worked. She had this thing, like a silver thing with some kind of paper there all the time whenever she went. I'm saying, Pesach nicht. I'm not giving a skoma. I'm not, I know it's a very charged issue, so I'll leave it at that. But that was that. Iboilu. Kmein yesh ben mishum kedusha, or dilma en ben mishum kedusha, which means, so the Kameim have Shemis HaKadoshim, right? Or that psukim. And obviously, the question is, we would say, of course, anything with the name of Hashem, with a pasuk, it's Kadosh. You see it on the floor, kiss it, and pick it up, right? So we say it's not so simple. A Kame'a, the Gemara is asking a question. Is there Kedusha in the Kame'a, or is there no Kedusha in the Kame'a? The Sfas Emes explains why. Kame'a, first of all, back then, there was mamish an Isser, Daf Kuf Tesvav Amud Beis, with the Ritva. I saw the Ritva tonight, this evening. He was also to write psukim all over the place. You write psukim all over to stam write psukim here and there, everywhere, was not allowed. Today, Et Lasot L'Shem Efer Torasecha, the Ritva says, we write Sifrei Kodesh, we have to write. But originally, you only wrote the Sifrei Torah, Sifrei Nevim. You would minimize the amount of written stuff. Why? Because what happens today? You see in the Cheder Madrigot, the things are on the floor. In other words, they end up being burnt. We're going to see why. And it's a bizayon. And maybe other reasons, you have to know more about Peh, maybe, whatever. So the point is, first of all, we don't encourage so much that everything Kodesh should be written everywhere. Secondly, and that's actually what the Sfas Emes says, he says, no, the question is, the Kame'a is not really written for learning, for Kedusha. it's written as a sgula. In a way, you're using the pasuk for your own health, right? So you're not really writing it in order to have a Sefer Torah, to have something Kodesh to learn from. You're learning it to stick it on your daughter's neck so she should be healed from that rare cancer. So maybe there's no Kedusha. Maybe Kedusha is only when the shame of the pasuk are written for the sake of being part of Sefer Torah, or at least a parsha to learn in Kailo, learn in Amud Yomi. When you learn it for something else, artistic or healing, maybe there's no Kedusha. Obviously, the question is, what do you mean there's no Kedusha? The name of itself has Kedusha, I know, you seem surprised, but do we have to treat it with Kedusha like Sefer Torah? That's a question. Yeah? The question is, does it have to be treated with Kedusha? Lemai hilchasa. When you think about, I want to ask you guys, as you all big shomer mitzvahs, to treat with Kedusha has many implications. Pick it from the floor when it, yeah, don't allow it to be burnt, don't go to the toilet with it, don't chas v'shalom, I don't know, wipe your sweat with it, with a siddur, right? Oh, there could be all kinds of applications, ramifications from if something's kodesh or not. And that's a question of the Gemara. Lemai hilchasa. Regarding what are you asking me if it's kodesh or not kodesh? What, to call it kodesh? Kodesh, kodesh, kodesh. Who cares? Indian, what's your nafkamina? One question is, what about if chas v'sholom, someone's house is on fire on Shabbos, chlila, and he wants to save those Kame'im that he has in the house, or benchers, all kinds of, I don't know, brachos or artistic psukim written on the wall. Well, it's not simple at all. Well, because first of all, when you want to, well, not when, Khalila, if anybody has a fire in his house on Shabbos, and now he wants to save tefillin, he wants to save what has to be saved, right? There are two issues. First of all, if he's saving it to chotzer she'enim oreves, right? A chotzer which is no eruv, it's an issur d'Rabbanan, maybe not supposed to be a issur d'Rabbanan. Yeah, I know you want to save your siddur and your chumash, but you have issur d'Rabbanan of moving it to chotzer she'enim oreves. There are two girsos in Rashi here. Even chotzer me'oreves, even chotzer which is me'orav, there's no issur whatsoever. You're not allowed to take anything you want out of a burning house on Shabbos. Why? Chachamim, that's going to be in a few prokim we're going to learn. Chachamim limited the amount of things people are allowed to take out of a burning house. Let's say the house is burning and nobody is actually putting out the fire because there's no danger. It's a little house not connected to other houses. The family are safe. Baruch Hashem, they're all outside. They're watching the house burning, but they're not watching. They want to take out stuff as much as they can from the burning house. If you take too much stuff, you're going to come to extinguish the fire. That's a chash. Before Shintosis at the beginning. Yes. And therefore, Chachamim said you can only take Mozen Gimel Seudos, you can only take a Sefer Torah, maybe Tefillin. There's very specific things you can take, and it's limited. You can't start taking the vase, the computer, besides Muktzah. I mean, you can't just take whatever you want, even clothes. Only 18 clothes, only less. There's a very limited amount. Why? If you take too much, too many things, what's going to happen? You're going to be so engrossed in taking, oh, so such chaval. If you know, l'chatchila, I'm limited. Shem Yazor, Shem Yishmo, I'm limited with minimum clothes, minimum food, minimum Sefer Torah. Yeah, it's foreign, whatever. But if I can take whatever I want, people today amass, we're all hoarders in the modern world. Yeah, so there's no end to it. You'll forget Bechlal Shabbos, they come to take a hose and put out the fire because they want everything already. Once there's no gvul, then really no gvul. And therefore, it's limited. Oh, so now a Sefer Torah I can take out the chotzer moreves or enim moreves. A Sefer Torah you cannot take out Rishus Rabbim. A Sefer Torah should burn, and it shouldn't be over an Easter on Shabbos. Yeah. I'm not saying Allah Lamaisa, but if you learn the pasuk, if you learn the parak over there called Kisvei, that's what comes out. I remember I'm being surprised like you, that's what comes out, because Shmir Shabbos is more choshuv than the Sefer Torah burning. Not halacha l'maaseh, don't look at me, but that's what came out to me in the sugya over there. Now, so these brachas, what's the status? Because we're talking about Shmir Shabbos, and we're limiting the amount of things they're allowed to take. Oh, so now where do they belong? The level of kedusha is not as amazing, is not as high as the Sefer Torah. You have those Kame'as because you want the good luck or you want the good health. It's really for you, all these psukim. So are they kodesh enough to be taken to the street with those limited amount of things, like the clothes and the food, or maybe not? Maybe they should burn. I'm sorry, because that is kodesh. And plus, the Ritva himself says that there's a reason to let them burn because we don't encourage so much the idea of writing psukim all over the place. Therefore, the Ritva says, before we continue, the Ritva says that nowadays, in Echanami, you do save all the Sforim. Kedusha, Ritva, Rashba, Ran, Ramban, Mesil Seshorim, Rav Nachman, whatever, I don't know, Bialik. Whatever Sfarim you have, you save, right? It's the chotzer, or it's not the rabbanon, yeah, not to the street, yeah, because today it's accepted to write it. So you take out all the Sfarim. I'm jumping the gun a little bit, but let's say now the question of the Gemara is: when we talk about Kameos, are they as holy as Sefer Torah to take them out of the house from a burning house on Shabbos? Or do you say no? They're like your regular things, like your tables and chairs, which you're supposed to live inside, because you're not allowed to take too many things, lest you come to extinguish. Toshma, if that's your question, there's an easy answer. Abrochas v'akmein. Brocha is tam, you write brochas, not even to bench. To bench is functional, you need to bench. You write the brocha on the wall, right? It's very frum to have a lot of, psukim all over your dining room. It's very nice, but it's not so simple. You're not really doing it to learn from. Abrochas v'akmein. There's letters of kedusha uminyones harbe shebetorah. There's a lot of matter, a lot of Torah content over there. Ein metzila noisem pnei dleika. Wow, you don't save it from the dleika. Mefurish brisa. V'nisrofin b'imkoimen. Wow, you allow them to burn in their place. So therefore, there's no question that they're not as holy as the Sefer Torah. Again, the Ritva says their level is lower than Sefer Torah because they're not really meant. We don't encourage writing, and therefore they belong to the limited things like your tables and chairs, like the secular things. Therefore, the Ritva says today you are supposed to write it. Why? We're weak generation. We need to have more psukim, more kedusha around, the ksovim everywhere to learn to this. So yeah, you're right, and you save them. You also save them. But in the times of the Gemara, it was different. El alinian gniza. Oh, question number 2. Gniza. What happens if I have a Kame'a? I don't need it anymore. The guy was healed already 10 times from all the different machlas. He died already. Now he wants to put the Kame'a in Gniza. Is he supposed to put it in Gniza, or can he throw it in the garbage? Yeah, those Kame'a. Yeah, it's not a Sefer Torah. It's your medication, psukim. Maybe you throw it in the bin, in the garbage. Yeah. Toshma. Well, it says in the Brisa, what happens if the name of Hashem was written on the handle of a kli? You have a frying pan, yeah, you have some kind of pot, and on the frying pan's handle, you have Yud Ke Vav Ke. Yeah, they have that in Spain from the times of the Anusim in the antique shops. You see that in certain people's houses. I'm serious. Valkara Amita. Yep. And you have a bed, and on the leg, how do you say, of the bed, it says Yud Ke Vav Ke. What a nice place to put the name of Hashem. So that's really, so here comes a few explanations. Well, obviously, this is not as Kodesh Sefer Torah. It's a bed, it's a frying pan, and you adorned it with the name of Hashem. Then I would again say that, well, what are you talking about? There's no Kedusha. There's no Kedusha there because the name of, it's not a Sefer Torah. It's the name of Hashem to embellish or give good luck to the frying pan while she's frying the schnitzels. However, it says there, it's a Gemara, it says Yogud Vignazenu. No, you're not supposed to just, sleep on it or use it. You're supposed to cut the piece with the name of Hashem and put it in Gniza, which means the name of Hashem, even if it's very out of context, it's now I saw it in the Dirshu, I didn't know it, actually I have to admit, I've never seen that when I learned Shabbos before. They say, some people say, Davka, this one is supposed to take away, to remove, because it's a bizoyan. They have a frying pan when you fry in the sweaty kitchen, they have the name of Hashem there. Kol sheken, the bottom of the bed, yeah. It's a bizoyan, therefore you're supposed to take the name of Hashem, cut it, the name of Hashem, with a bit of wood or a bit of metal, and put it in Gniza. But whichever way it is, even any kli or just the bizoyan, you see that the Kedusha remains. The Kedusha of Hashem, it's not Sefer Torah, it's not even a Kame'a written by a Rav. It's could be a goy. The Gemara there also talks in Echen, I think, where it could be a goy wrote it and he wants to donate it to a shul. Good luck, something. So even then we say no, there's still kedusha. So we see that the kedusha of Hashem regarding Gniza always exists, always remains, even if it's completely out of the context of kedusha. The name of Hashem of itself is Kodesh. So if you have command, it says Ani Hashem Roifecha. Of course, you have to put it in Gniza. I don't care if it's for healing or for learning. Ela. So again, as we go along, the Gemara is like, what's enough kamina? Everything is mefurash. Again, let's summarize. If it's about saving from the sreifa, you don't save it from the sreifa because it's a question of Shabbos. Gniza, though, of course you have to put it in Gniza because you don't throw the name of Hashem to the garbage, even if it's written in a very weird context. You okay? Question? I don't know. Other language has some kedusha too. I don't know. Chaval, because the Gemara there talks about it, and I don't know. I don't remember. The name of Hashem for sure in Hebrew, Avada, it is a problem. Now, Ela, option number 3. Likones ben bebesa kise. Oh, a person is wearing his Kame'a because that saves his life, or that helps him keep healthy, and he needs to go to the bathroom, to the toilet. Likones ben bebesa kise, my yesh ben kedusha ve'osur. There's kedusha in it, and you're not allowed to be with it in besa kise. But yilma en ben kedusha ve'shari. Maybe there's no kedusha. Again, of course, there's some level of kedusha. You're not supposed to throw it in the garbage, but maybe it doesn't have that much kedusha. Go to toilet. To wear it in toilet is not as bad as throwing it in the garbage. That's the idea. So maybe it's not as holy. By the way, it's very interesting, right? We saw that for one thing, the Kame'as are not Kodesh, right? For Shabbos, you let it burn in the house in the times of the Gemara. Comes to Gniza, you do put it in Gniza. So it's somewhere in the middle. Now comes the bang in the middle question, Beis HaKisa. Beis HaKisa, right? It's not as bad as throwing in the garbage, not as good as helping Shmir Shabbos, leaving it to burn. Going to the toilet with it is a middle of the road question, and that question remains. There's no clear answer to that question till the end of the page and beyond. Toshma, look what it says in the Brisa, in the Mishnah, excuse me, in our very own Mishnah. It says in the Mishnah, you're not allowed to wear a Kame'a if it's not from a good doctor, a good healer. You're not allowed to wear it on Shabbos. Okay. That is to say, as we just learned now, with all the charts and all the business we had now, if you have a good Kame'a of a real Rabbanish Mekubal who knows what he's doing and healed 30 times 30 people, of course, what are you going to do? You're allowed to wear it on Shabbos. You go out with it on Shabbos. Wait a second. If you say the Kame'a has Kedusha in it, and you're not allowed to wear it into the toilet, sometimes you need to go to toilet while walking down the street. You need to go to the public toilet, which, by the way, back then, most toilets were public. The person who had the toilet in his house was rich. We saw the Gemara in Daf Chaf base. If you basically, right, remove the Kame'a to go to toilet, you're going to walk with it while holding it in your hand, which is the same chashash we had. Now I'm going to know if you did your homework, right? In Tefillin, there was a chashash in Tefillin. Don't wear Tefillin on Shabbos to the street, even if it's man Tefillin. Maybe you'll remove it before toilet and you'll walk towards the toilet, then leave it outside the toilet. You'll walk with it, holding it in your hand. That's an Issa D'Oraisa. So you see, we're not concerned. We're not concerned. Must be because you're allowed to go with it to the toilet. That's where there's no concern. I would walk straight into the toilet, straight into the bathroom with the Kame'a on my neck, feeling absolutely nice and firm in Yerei Shamayim, because it's allowed. Mimela, there's no chashash, I'll remove it. That's why it's allowed. Dog the Gemara, no. The Gemara is now rejecting that idea. I told you, some Kame'as are not with any name on it, not any pasuk. It's a Kame'a of different herbs. Yeah, that's more like a secular Kame'a, right? A Kame'a Shalikorin from a healer from California. Yeah, Kame'a Shalikorin, a Kame'a Shalikorin, no name of Hashem, no pasuk, no nothing. Of course, with that you can go to toilet. And that's the Kame'a we allow you to wear on Shabbos, because of course you can wear that into toilet. But She'en Ken, the Kame'a of the names of the Shemesh HaKadoshim, maybe that one you're really not allowed to wear on Shabbos, because maybe you'll have to remove it, because maybe you'll go to toilet and you're not allowed to take it to toilet. Maybe. No. Rejecting the rejection. Vatanya, look, it says in the Brisa, Echad Kame'a Shel Ksav. Echad Kame'a Shel Ikorin. It says Mefurash. Either the Kame'a is a written Kame'a of Psukim, or a Kame'a of herbs, and Ikorim, not herbs, Ikorim are like roots and herbs, yeah? Either way, you're allowed to wear it on Shabbos if it's a mumche. How come you're allowed to wear the one of Ksav on Shabbos? Maybe you'll go to toilet and remove it. Elamai must be, you are allowed to walk straight into bathroom with the Kame'a of Ksav. And answers the Gemara, some people, they have some mild disease, not sakona. They wear the Kame'a, so to be extra healthy, to be okay. We're not talking about them. They may remove the Kame'a because they will go to toilet in the street. They may remove it before toilet, as they have to, I'm trying to say now. And that Enechnam is Osir. You know which Kame'a we're allowed to wear? The one which is Mamish Chole with Sakana. The guy is terminally ill cancer, like that girl. she would wear it all the time, 24/7. Not even 1 second would leave her body. The second it's out of the body, you're going to collapse. Boom. Sakana. Yeah. And therefore, such a guy, of course, is allowed to wear it to the toilet. That's an exception to the rule. That's the one whom we allowed to wear the Kame'a, because he would never ever remove it from his body or her body. And of course, why? And you're allowed to wear it to toilet. Bizoyan, I'm sorry, it's Bizoyan, but he's going to die. So he's allowed to wear it to toilet. Okay? That's what. But maybe a regular Kame'a, a feel-good Kame'a, a regular disease which is not sakona, maybe that's when you do have to remove before you go to toilet. Still, we did not resolve the question. Zog the Gemara, bad news. No. Vatanya, nice try. But the Brisa says not like you. It says in the Brisa, Echad choyle sheyesh bo sakona, ve'echad choyle she'en bo sakona. Ay. Uh-oh. It says that even if the choyle has no sakona, let's summarize everything. Even if the choyle is not dangerously ill, and we're talking about ksav and not ikorim, right? So, and yet he's allowed to wear it on Shabbos. And now he's not dangerous. He's, of course, able, medically speaking, to remove it from his neck. Nothing's going to happen. He'll cough a little bit. He'll limp a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, no problem. Elamai, you must be. If he's allowed to wear it, he's not concerned to remove it, because he's not supposed to remove it. He's allowed to go with it to the toilet. So you see that you're allowed to go with it to the bathroom. No, now we proved our point. So the Gemara, no. Ella, there's another svara. This is very, very important to know. This is a new yesod in the perek, which will appear later. Kevan the masi means healing. Because it's healing, afagav denakit lebiyodinami shapir dami. Oh, this is big news. Up until now, we assumed, and we were right. If I take my, don't want to remove my kippah, whatever, if I take my glasses, that's a good one. Yeah, you're allowed to wear glasses on Shabbos to the street. Last time I checked, even if you're in Manhattan or wherever there's no Eruv, yeah? So now, can I remove my glasses and walk with them in my hand? Chil Shabbos Doraisa. Yisur Doraisa. Chiyuv Kolos. Of course, what about a Kame'a? Kame'a is not beautifying my body. Kame'a is not making my body look nicer or better or this or anything. Kame'a is, I'm supposed to be in constant touch with the Kame'a to stay healthy. What about if I remove the Kame'a and I walk with it, Dala Damas and Shus Arabim? Shapir Dami. It's not called Chilul Shabbos because it functions as much. The function of the Kame'a is to heal the person, not to beautify the person. And therefore, again, we could say as follows. Really, you're not allowed to walk to the bathroom with the Kame'a. And yes, you will remove it, Dalad Amis, before entering the bathroom. And yes, you will walk with it, but we don't care. Because to walk with the Kame'a in your hand is fine. I'll give you another example. There is a question. I'm very, very careful here because I'm always scared to say the wrong thing. Halachically, there is at least a nidon in halacha, which we'll see later in the Mishnah regarding kabaim, regarding crotchets. Crotchets on Shabbos, he's not wearing them, they support him. I'm not talking about crotchets. What about an old distinguished gentleman, who wears, and he doesn't wear, he walks in the street with like a cane, a fancy golden cane, like Rebbe's, not some Rebbe's used to have, they still today, with a fancy cane. For him, he doesn't need the cane. He could run. He does 3 hours in the gym every day, the guy, But Lamaisa, he's walking with it as a tachshit. The Gemara discusses sword. Some things, as you hold them, that's a tachshit. And here, you hold it, that it's as healing as much as it's on your neck. That's why there's no chashash. But we didn't resolve anything about yes or no bathroom, which is our question. Maybe yes, maybe no. But even if no, it's not a problem because you can walk with it in your we can walk with it in your hand. It's not a problem. That's what we're trying to suggest now. Quickly, a little bit. We have 2 more minutes. We started late. It's a very nice bar, but the Gemara is going to ruin it now. No, you're wrong. Rabbi Yoshia says, nice svara. Look at Rashi. A Kame'a is only considered a tachshit when you wear it. Very nice idea what we said, but at the end of the day, Tosis explains really why. I'm not going now. Maybe Maris Ayin could be. Tosis holds the idea. Maybe if you hold it the Kame'a, not everyone knows it's a Kame'a. It looks like you're holding something on Shabbos. Supposed to only wear it on your neck. That's a normal way, right? So we destroyed the previous svara. So again, the question is, let's repeat. What's the question all the time? Why aren't we concerned? Why do we allow a person to walk with a Kame'a even though it's not pikuach nefesh? And it has Shemas HaKadoshim. aren't you concerned that before bathroom he would remove it before going to the bathroom and walk daladamis? And if you're not concerned, that shows you're allowed to walk with the command to the toilet, wearing it. It's okay to wear it in toilet, right? That's what we're trying to prove all the time. Comes the final answer. We won't continue. That's the final answer. We're making it's covered with leather. That's what you thought all the time. Up until now, I'm sorry for disappointed you. Up until now, yeah, we spoke about an exposed Kame'a. Yeah, maybe it's dangling, with a nice necklace, but it's open, exposed. That was the issue. Is mechupe or now I'm not discussing one cover or two covers. That's another question. It's a good question, right? Right. In halach you need two. I know. Here it doesn't say it, and it bothered me also, but I didn't prepare that well. So I didn't prepare them before. I know it bothers me also. Lamaisa here we see that because it's covered, that's why it's allowed. So nothing was resolved. And don't go to the Kame'a exposed. If it's covered with one or two layers, then in a chinami, or we can say, David, that normally the Kame'a has one layer, and there's an extra layer now of or dafka in order to go to the toilet, like every good Jew knows, you have your tefillin in your pocket. What do? You need one wrapping, and the pocket is the second one. So that's okay. That's what they do over here, Pashtus. What about tefillin? Tefillin are also covered. Your tefillin are inside the parshas, and they're covered with the or, with the bias, with the black thing. You see that by tefillin, by the way, there are no two covers. You see that even though the tefillin are covered, meaning that the batim of the tefillin are covered with the bias, and yet you're not allowed to wear it into the toilet. I don't know about the double cover here. That's another question. And says the Gemara, Hosu mishum shin. There, the cover itself is holy. Shkoyach, thank you very much. The cover itself, which is your black square bite, has a shin on it. Why are tefillin shel rosh holier than tefillin shel yad? Two reasons. Because there's a shin over here, not over there. And over here are four parshas, and here only one. The cover of the rosh is holy as of itself. Shkoyach, thank you very much. Yomar Abaye, we saw that in Daf Kaf Ches. Shin shel tefillin lochem shem Sinai. V'amar ba dalit shel tefillin lochem shem Sinai. V'amar ba yud shel tefillin lochem shem Sinai. Oh, very good. In other words, the shin, dalit, and yud in different locations. Yeah, here. All these hinted letters through your tefillin on the outside. It's not stam a nice ballistic idea. It's a lochem shem Sinai. It's chiyuv d'oraisa to have those shapes of letters on the outside of your tefillin. So tefillin are holy on the outside. And a chnami, you can cover them too. But the tefillin itself, that cover itself is not a cover. That by itself is holy. That's it. One more I want to help you to get from the Mishnah. These were the last items mentioned in Mishnah. This is all armor. This is all how do you say army British army wear, military wear. Yeah. So shirion zarda. Shirion is a coat of arms. Kasda Omer Rav Sanvarta. Kasda is a helmet, or like the Romans used to have, like a leather thing under the helmet, right? Whenever they show Roman soldiers, right? They have like a leather thing and a helmet on top. So that you're not allowed to wear on Shabbos. Magafayim Omer Rav Paz. Magafayim are boots made out of iron, which you wear for war, to kick the enemy, to kick the Palestinians in Rafah. You need boots, yeah, like that. These three things don't wear on Shabbos. It doesn't say why anywhere, except Rashi later on says Mali sign. You walk like that in the street, people think you're going to war, and not a war like we have today that they have to fight. You're going to like a duel. You're going to like sports war. Yeah, maybe today to wear. I'm thinking now I want to be a frumer and invent a new chumrah, but maybe it's true. Maybe like wearing sports wear on Shabbos could be a problem. Let's say there's a guy he doesn't wear sports wear. Only when he goes to the gym. So if he goes out like that in the street on Shabbos, besides the fact that it's not covered Shabbos, it looks as if he's going to the gym. No, I'm saying a similar idea. Maybe we can extend it. Aser. Hatzlacha uvracha. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, David, for taking over tomorrow. Wow. And see Yeshua and Mechomas. Thank you to people who watch us on YouTube. And thank you to our Zoom participants, to Jeff. Thank you, Jeff, for being with us. Thank you. What? No Zoom tomorrow. What a miss, but no Zoom tomorrow. Okay, Beseder, there's Shiur in Kol HaLashon and Torah. Thank you. Thank you very much again. Thank you, and Hatzlacha.